The strangest date I ever went on, buckle in, this is a story, came from Tinder. Of course it did, because a fucking dumpster fire. So I meet this girl, right? We start texting, and we start talking. I usually talk for a little bit, get the vibe going a little bit. Anyway, she lives up in Park City. I live down in Salt Lake in the Valley. It's like a 35-minute drive up Parley's Canyon to Park City. I get to her house. First of all, she gave me the wrong address. So I'm like driving around. I call her. I'm like, hey, I can't find your place. She's like, oh, I gave you the wrong address. I'm sorry. Like it was like on purpose or some shit. Like, what the fuck? So I get the right place, right? And it's like this big house. It's like this cabin looking house. Like it's actually in Heber, not in Park City. It's just right outside of Park City, this little mountain town. Really pretty spot. And I go in and it's a mess. It's just like it's been fucking hit by a tornado. There's like baby shit everywhere. There's like bottles everywhere. So she comes out and she's carrying a newborn baby. Like a newborn. I've had a baby before. Not me personally, my ex-wife. And I know what a newborn looks like. And this baby had to have been like maybe a week old from the hospital. Still had like the pacifier from the hospital, right? And I'm like, oh, I didn't know you had a newborn. She's like, yeah, I told you I had kids. I'm like, yeah, I just assumed that they were like, toddler age. And she goes, all right, let's go. I'm like, oh wait, we're going? And she starts to put the baby in like the baby seat, and then she puts it in, she hands me the baby seat and says, hey, can you put this in the car for me? I'm like, wait. We're not taking the baby with us to dinner, right? She's like, oh no, I don't have a babysitter. I thought I would just bring him along. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, I don't feel comfortable with this. I'll drive and you can drive your own car if you want to bring the baby. First of all, I shouldn't have done that. That was a fucking bad, awful idea. So we go to this little Mexican restaurant up there. It's kind of crowded. She sits down. And we're like ordering, we're talking. Keep in mind, she looked nothing like her profile photo. Like absolutely nothing. Like she must have used photos that were from like 10 years ago. This is going awful. The vibe's so weird. I'm so uncomfortable. She sits down and she starts to breastfeed. Like takes out her boobs, starts to breastfeed. Now look, I'm all about like free the nipple. Like if you want to breastfeed anywhere, I don't care. That doesn't bother me, right? But it was just, the timing of it all was a little awkward. So she starts to breastfeed. Then she gets a phone call on her phone. She answers it, and she goes, "Oh, okay, yeah. I'll be right there." And she hangs up, and she goes, "Hey, I gotta go pick up my other kids at the friend's house. Would you mind watching the baby for me?" You're fucking kidding me, right? I got up, I left, and said,